Hey everybody, Dr. Red here, and I am back with some more Magic Arena. So on our most recent episode, we went through the kind of long run tutorial. For those of you who needed to learn something, all the better for it. And now we're going to be taking a look at some of the intro decks we're given, but not before we go through the new player experience. So we just navigate through this little orb, and this is going to be our reward track. So as we level up, gaining XP through playing the game, we are going to be earning these mastery orbs. As you can see, we go all the way through 1 through 25 essentially. This is going to unlock us 5 new additional decks to play with. But for the most part, we're going to be getting more orbs, some cosmetics, not very important here, and some wild cards. These cards over here, these are going to be what allows you to craft cards of that specific rarity. Of course, we haven't touched rarity, but I think we'll deal more with this once we rank up a bit more, start getting some boosters, all that fun stuff. But yeah, the mastery tree is as follows. It's basically this web here. I'm pretty sure the AI is maybe going to give us some details. As we play with specific color combinations, so let's just say we're playing with the green deck, or the white, or the blue, or the black, or the red, we are going to be unlocking cards that go through it. So let's just say, hypothetically, we just kept on playing what we were playing, so the white deck. We would unlock this white orb, unlock that Angelic Guardian card that we can put in our deck, and those orbs that we'd be getting as we leveled up, those would be slotting into here, and here respectively. In this case, what that will do is that will allow you to unlock new cards, introduce some new themes. So in this case, powerful creatures and enchantments, some angel synergy, some strong late game spells like the big dragon Zatalpa, some other synergistic cards, and of course, just to finish your expertise, you get a new card style. And then of course we can branch over here, which will unlock us some decks that are multicolored, so we should be getting us a white and green deck. Same thing goes, we can focus on here, get some better green cards, etc, etc. But yeah, for now, I think we are just going to start as follows. Let's see.
You'll need to choose a deck.
We're locked into challenging Sparky for now. We can't do regular play mode. I'm going to do, not the mono white, because I feel like we've more or less seen what that deck does for now. We're just going to go with the Forest Might. As you can see, I believe we can go into our deck list here. And we'll do a quick what's in the deck, how it's supposed to win currently. Currently, this is our list of cards. We could technically shove in some random stuff as well, but currently there would be no real explicit point for us doing so. As you can see, this is going to be our curve here. What we can see is everything's going to be ordered to top down from highest cost to lowest cost to highest cost. So we have our Llanowar Elves here. They're going to be our ramp tools. They have this tap effect that you can see just underneath the actual name down here. In this case, you can tap it, so instead of attacking, you're able to tap it to add an additional mana. That will allow us to ramp into cards we regularly couldn't play until turn. Let's just say a card we can play till turn 3, we'd be able to play that on turn 2, that kind of deal. Which is very useful when we have very high top end. So like this Gigantosaur, it needs 5 forests, but that'll give us a big 10-10 beater out. Same thing can be said with our Colossal Dreadmaw. Our Galta, this big 12-12 trampler, we'll deal with trample as it goes off later. And of course our land. But I feel like the best way for us to get into this is just playing it. We're basically going to be playing some small dudes, ramping them up to some bigger animals, maybe equipping it with some benefits with enchantments like those ores we were dealing with prior, and we'll go from there. Okay. So like I said, we're just going to be dealing with Sparky here. Just a little AI. Generally shouldn't be too hard of a fight. And this is going to be something we didn't get shown. In this case, we have an opportunity to look in our hand and see if it's worth keeping. So we can keep all the cards in our hand, start as this, or we can mulligan. If we were to mulligan, essentially we are shuffling all these cards back into our deck and then pulling out 6 instead of the usual 7s. And that continues on. So if you mulligan a 6, down to a 5, down to a 4, this might not be the most ideal hand, but we're just going to take it for posterity's sake here. We have 3 lands, 2 drop, and we luckily top decked into a Llanowar Elf. So we actually have something we can play turn 1 and can ramp us into this Rock's Oracle or this Vigilant Baloth much sooner. So of course, no sense doing anything like tapping this, because we can still use it as an attacker for now. Bob him for 1, and we'll get this 2/2 Sentinel with Vigilance. So. Of course, they're just blue, they're ramping up, drawing some cards, etc, etc. We got our big Dino Boy in hand. This one has a special effect, where it costs X mana less to cast, based on the power of creatures you currently control that are out. In this case, instead of being the usual 12 cost, based on the power we have out now, it's going to cost us 9 total. So let's see here. We have nothing we can really do on 4 mana, so we're just going to swing in with both, wait out our next turn. Next turn we'll be able to drop a Baloth or an Oracle. We're probably going to go with the Baloth. It's just a bit more intimidating of a creature. So far they haven't really done much. They played this little 1/1 bird. That's about it. What we can see here though, is we now have the mana required, using our Llanowar Elf of course, to get the Baloth out. We're going to swing with our Sentinel. No sense using our Llanowar, there's no point. And get our big boy out. So that'll reduce the cost of this Ghalta all the way down to a 4-drop. So for 4 mana, we get a 12/12 creature with Trample. That means if it's blocked, any damage on top of the enemy's toughness, if it's blocked, this gets decked right in the face for him. Now let's see what we can do here. There's some shenanigans we can do. Let's just hard cast it. We're holding our Llanowar back. If we wanted to, we could just whip on through, do a dumb combat trick on our Sentinel, get rid of this wall of mist. But at this point in the game, it really doesn't matter, especially dealing with this little AI bot. Ooh. Sadly, they did have a little fancy shenanigan. It's going to put Galt on top of our deck, so we won't be able to use him this turn. But we can still just throw him out.
Oh, cool.
Thanks, Sparky. It's just as cool as it was last time. Swing with our 2 creatures, and that they have to chump block, or can't really have a favorable trade with.
That's going to leave a mark.
And let's see if Sparky has a way to deal with Ghalta again. Okay, a little bit comical here, but they sure did. They are attacking with both their creatures. They potentially have a combat trick in mind, or they're just done with this game. Easy as that. So, just like the previous matches, this is going to be your first proper game of Magic. I don't know if they're doing any hand fixing, or what's the exact deal going on in that regard. But as you can see, we leveled up. We unlocked the green Mastery Orb and just the regular one. So of course the green one's just going to slot in here. It's going to give us a Rampaging Brontodon. It's going to ask us to upgrade the deck, but we'll do that later.
One step closer to becoming the best.
And with this we just have access to this extra Mastery Orb. So let's just focus on green a little bit here. We're just going to put a little extra bonus here. It's going to get us another Llanowar, some extra cards that we didn't previously have. So in this case, it seems like it's auto-upgrading our deck for us, which is probably fine. But we'll just take a look at some of the changes it's made. In this case, it added in the Llanowar Elf. It looks like it removed our Highland game cards. Because so far, we haven't really needed the life gain. It's kind of a garbage creature, if we're going to be totally honest here. Gift of Paradise is an option for us if we wanted to play a bit more rampy. So I might just slot this one in here, and yeah, I'm not too concerned with main decking a Plummet. And that's basically going to be how this game goes to begin with. I think for now, we can actually play against people. The game's decided to give us quests, in this case with the quest here.
Golly, there's just so much to look forward to.
In this case, it gives us dailies for gold. We can spend our gold for booster packs. What I'm probably going to be doing is just saving it for drafts, just so there might be some variation other than me playing some of the starter decks, of course. And then just getting wins throughout the week. You'll be able to get 3 booster packs for your first 15 weekly wins. Every day, you're going to have some resets daily things. It's going to be some gold rewards that kind of depreciate the more you win. And of course, some in-card rewards, which are just random cards from all the sets available that they just give you every... I believe you get your first one on your 5th win, and then it's every other win up until 15. And a feature that people don't really seem to be aware of is this reroll. As you can see, one of our dailies here is worth 750 gold. The others are 500. Ideally, to be most efficient, you're going to be wanting to re-roll them, hoping to land on 750s. If you don't, it happens, but you got to give it the old college try, right? In this case, however, it looks like we're just going to be going up against real people now, because, yeah, this is going to be showing us how the game's actually played. We're probably going to get beat. Hopefully, we're just up against other people using starter decks as well, but I guess today we're going to be up against scrawny bones, so we'll see how this goes against a real person. So we're a little bit land heavy. If they don't have removal, which is a big maybe, Blanchwood Armor could turn the Greenwood Sentinel into a really decent beater, because it's +1/+1 for each forest you control. So turn 2, we'd be able to play this one out, armor, and then each turn it would be getting a little bit bigger. And my knowledge of arena matchmaking, it tries to match decks. Some algorithm, I don't know. So ideally we're going to have starter decks being matched with starter decks. Maybe some weird algorithms and someone's janky brew might get slotted up against us and we will get decimated, but hopefully, at least as far as collection gap is concerned, it won't be too bad. Okay, so we did lose our Sentinel, which is a bummer, but we do have this Courser. Doesn't have Vigilance, but at least it's slightly bigger. And thankfully, above the damage that a shock is required to kill it just as is. Thinking about it. He's not doing anything. And one thing that we could have done that would have been different is if we just played Line of War Elves, we would have the mana for the Vigilant Baloth, but of course there's no way for us just to know that was coming. But I think we might just play Land of War now. Swing in and keep a combat trick up. That way we might be able to keep the Courser alive, and next turn we can play the Baloth. And then potentially Blanchwood Armor the Baloth. Because one thing that mono red decks tend to have is damage-based removal, and if you can have a creature that's toughness is high enough to get above that, all the better. Let's see what he's doing. He is targeting us with Sarkhan's Dragonfire. Deals 3 damage to any target, so it will kill this unless we do a combat trick. Allows him to look at the top 5 cards of their library, reveal a red card from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest out. Okay, he's basically going to ideally be killing our creature, and then from there, grabbing a card. So this won't kill the creature per se. He's going to be left with 4 toughness, but he's still going to be able to dig down a little deep to find a card that he wants to play. And it's 5 cards, so that's a decent amount of deck knowledge he's going to be able to find. And it's revealed, so it's going to be a Goblin Instigator. So let's see what we have here. He is definitely tapped out, so what we can do, I am remembering this, I'm not going to be mathing things out because I am, let's see, we do this, that will let that one tap for 2, we should have 5. I believe I can math. I cannot math because I'm really dumb. Let's see. 2 mana of any one color. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm an idiot. It's okay, I'm leaving that in here. He's playing a big old burb. So we have some options here. In this case, it's every time this creature dies, it's just going to be popping right back into their hand, which is a bit of a bummer. So what we're going to be able to do is, ideally, if it dies, all the better. I'm not too concerned about our Courser. He might just trade, and then being able to play it again is fine for him. But we'll see how it goes with our Vigilant Baloth. We might potentially going to be needing another answer, a way to give it trample or some sort, because all that's going to be happening, at least for a little bit, is he's going to play his Phoenix. Even if I buff up this Baloth here, which I'm going to do as an example, it doesn't have trample, just vigilance. So each time it's going to be hitting for 12, can't trample through anything yet. So he's going to chump block it, take no damage, but we're kind of at a little bit of a stalemate. At this point, mana-wise, I would be better off swinging with the Llanowar, even if it's just chipping in for 1. There's not going to be too many things that we're going to be able to not cast sitting on 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Taking his time thinking. And again, I do expect to lose in some of these episodes. I'm not going to try to be that guy who just cuts an enemy or a match out just because he lost. But if it's a one-way stomp, flood, or screw either way, that might be what happens. In this case, that is kind of what's happening to us right now. We're flooding out a little bit. Of our 60-card deck, we have gone through 15 cards total, and of those 15 cards, 8 of those have been land. So we're definitely drawing more land than we want to at this point. Any card in our deck, we would be able to play without issue, to the point where even if I only draw land, it might be better off for me just to hold it to bluff. Pretend I have an instant or a combat trick. So what he's doing now is just going wide, because no matter what happens at this point, I attack, I can only kill one. He'll still have some damage able to get through. Like I said, there's another force, so we're just gonna swing. He's just gonna chump block with a goblin. Thankfully, this thing has vigilance, so that's good for us. In retrospect, knowing I'm up against this kind of frustrating to deal with Phoenix, I wish I had Plummet up just to get it off the field a little bit easier, but couldn't really expect that, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I figure after this one, I will probably put out another episode where looks like we focus largely on the green stompy today and a little bit of how the progression works. Hey, we got another Bailoff. That's good. Don't know why I played that forced. Downside with the Bailoff is all he has to do is play his Immortal Phoenix, and then I can just trade 1 for 1. And then that Bailoff over here just dies. Easy as that. Now, I believe one of the cards we unlocked was, trying to recall, I think another enchantment effect that gave our creature a bonus as well as trample. If we could find that, that would be great. That's ideally what we're looking for. Currently, though, we're only going to be swinging with the Bailoff here. We can't block out the Phoenix, but the pros of flying, at least for him. One thing, I believe these cards in particular, Immortal Phoenix, there's a few others that we're going to unlock where, originally part of, I'm trying to remember, like a physical bundle, and the only way to get it outside of spending wild cards was through that bundle. But it looks like now they're using them as kind of not great rares. Believe it or not, this Phoenix, generally speaking, I don't think it's supposed to be good. It's not played anywhere. But right now we're in a situation where we're going to be taking 11 damage in the air. But yeah, generally I think these would just be junk rares, but it's definitely showing our budget deck some difficulties. Now, are we dead on board? I believe so. Yes, her passive, any red source that would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much, +1. So right now they're just kind of bullshitting us right now. Just gonna wait. So think of everything here as having +1 power currently. I don't think they realize that. At this point, there's no sense playing this out. We're just going to... You know what? Maybe this guy has a daily. Oh god, my microphone stand is falling. Please hold. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, we totally won that one. My microphone didn't fall down. I didn't panic. The match didn't finish with him swinging and hitting me in the face, but we're good now. I just got this new one set up earlier this morning, so, hopefully that fixed it. But yeah, for now, I think we're not really. I don't know what I want to really be playing with these introductory decks. So yeah, we're just gonna cut it here. Maybe next time we will hop into a different color, be it white, blue, black, red, the works. Then of course we're gonna be unlocking more as we play. Thanks so much for watching. There'll be another episode up shortly. Blah blah blah. Catch you next time.